and welcome to Spirit of Self 747. This is your gracious host, Tracy, and we are actually going to be answering the call of what is Spirit trying to tell you through your emotions. This is a pretty big one and very, very significant. A lot of us don't realize that Spirit does communicate mainly through our emotions to us. So that's the funny feeling that you kind of get like, oh wow, what was that? Or why am I feeling this way? How, I always like to say, am I feeling this way? Because that's Spirit, your higher self, your guides telling you to pay attention. And so that is the question. As of right now, all the listeners that are listening, no matter how or when you come across this, this is meant for you, and this hopefully will be able to help guide you. And we're asking, what is Spirit trying to tell you through your emotional state? So that's the focus today. So let's get started. We're actually going to pull a main energy overview of what this will be about for you. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm very excited to meet you. So hello. If you want more information about how to reach me via personal readings, it'll be down in the description box. Thank you very much. So let's get started. So hopefully you can kind of see me shuffle. I like it when I see the readers shuffle, so I will try to make that the best way I can for you. Oh wow, okay, that was a lot that fell out. Okay, this is something about reclaiming, but we're going to put all those back because there's too many. But at least you got a peek, sneak a peek maybe, about reclaiming something. Let's see. Okay, another handful came out, so we're just going to take these. There's 3 of them. I love this deck. It is so beautiful. So we have 3 cards here so far. The first one, hopefully you can see that, is the Wildling. You can see those 2 beautiful swords there. It's going to be our first up here. Actually, we're going to put them right here. The second one that we have, oh, I love this one, and this is Patience. Okay, and that's like a beautiful turtle shell here. That's kind of, the turtle is basically reminding us to have one foot in heaven, or one foot in the spirit world and one foot in the earthly world. The turtle lives a long time, and they basically are not in a hurry because they've already been through a million cycles of life, their species. And then this says Ancestors. This is a beautiful card. You can kind of see that here are all the roots and then what makes us up in our world here. Okay. So these 3 cards here are telling me that this is something about a mental clarity. So your emotions, Spirit's trying to tell you through your emotions that you're maybe feeling a little bit confused, or you're trying to make the most peaceful decision for yourself. And this has been a very long and I guess very cumbersome process that you've been going through. And this is something that you've been through many, many times before. It could be many lifetimes, or it could be, something that, within the past 5 years, maybe even 7 years. So, but there is major growth, and you're feeling weighed down by this, and you're just needing something to just kind of lift you up just enough to give you some hope here. The turtle is really good at doing that. The turtle is actually a very wonderful animal. And a lot of people, have them for pets and stuff like that. But out in the wild, they really utilize their environment. They will take, and go and sunbathe on the rocks because they can't actually generate, obviously, their own heat. So this is kind of telling me that spirit, so your emotions that you could be having, there's usually four primary emotions, and that is fear, you have sadness, happiness, and excitement. Okay. And so you'll notice the significance of the turtle here is that they don't have a lot of fear. They're able to lay out in the sun and bask in the sun without fear. And they have that hard shell, but they're so tender inside. And they're really, they take care of their young. So you'll see the older turtles, and they do it as a village too. So this might have something to do with a family home, or actually kind of trying to move into a transition in your life, that you kind of have been feeling really weighted on in the mental space. So the wildling, this might be a risk for you, and you're feeling a lot of in between fear and excitement. And those two emotions can show in many different forms. So let's actually get some more cards here, and kind of pull some tarot. This is the deck I'm going to use. I just love this so much. It's very plain, very simple. And I like the illustrations in there. This is one of my first decks that was ever given to me. And I hold it very precious and very dear. And maybe that what's happening in your emotional body is that you are needing to recognize the emotion that you're having, okay? And maybe you're ignoring that emotion, and it's just slow coming, okay? So you're basically working on some type of truth. It's like you need to know what this truth is in order to make the decision. And that's where a lot of the confusion is happening here. And you're like, okay, I just need the clarity. Just give me the truth so I can make a peaceful decision and be able to move on with everything that I've accumulated. It's almost like this stuck energy, and it's just frustrating as all get out. And it just reminds me of, like the turtle is already slow enough, right? And you see all this stuff around it. It's like, could be, holding it down. Here's the patience. It's saying, this is a big heartfelt decision too for you. Something that you didn't believe that you could have. That is just, it's like inflaming, like the deepest passion and part of who you are. This clarity that you're needing in order to just say, okay, it's not going to happen, move forward. Or yes, it is going to happen, and then I know what else to do. But irregardless of whichever way that this goes, whichever this truth points to here, whichever the wind blows, you're going to be able to still do what you're needing to do. That's the important message here for you, okay? So let's see if we can get some more clarification, please. What is the emotions of the collective? What's Spirit trying to tell them through their emotions? Okay, so we have these two cards that came out, which is the Five of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, which goes great with this, the wildling there, the two swords here that are kind of trying to make it all come together. So with your Five of Wands, so this card can depict, play fighting. Like it seems like there's a lot of strife involved here, right? Things that are like there's one obstacle after another, and you're trying to pay attention to the emotional body of, okay, just like we said, it could be fear and excitement. How much fear do I need to feed, and how much excitement do I need to feed in this situation? And again, this has something that you've been building almost like your whole life, working on, and you're like right there, and it's almost, to that point where you're like, okay, I can grab it, but there just tons of stuff just keeps coming in over and over. You've went through your heart space, you've went through the mental space, and now you're just going, okay, Spirit, I need just pure faith here, but there's a progression. This has something to do with a home. This has something to do with your belief system of being in a home, and you're not understanding why there's so much, strife involved with whatever this is. That's what your emotion is trying to tell you. Spirit is trying to say, okay, you can have both of these emotions. You just need to be able to organize it. And I think that a lot of you are kind of going like almost like you feel like a yo-yo where you feel like, okay, yeah, this is going to happen. And then, okay, no, it's not. Okay, so let's go ahead and clarify the patience piece. It's almost like this is what it's meant to be. It's meant to be lopsided. Maybe this is about, growing into appreciation, but who wants to do that? Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. These three cards just flipped out. So you have the King of Wands, the Temperance, and the Hierophant. So you've got, major arcana here and some court cards. Or, excuse me, high end. Sorry, my nose is running good. So here you have the King of Wands, which is basically, it could represent a man or a masculine figure that is basically going, okay, look, he's sitting there waiting. And so is his little lizard right here. But he has everything ready. So whatever this is that's going on in your life, you've got basically, you've played the part, you've got all your paraphernalia in order. You've got your staff here going, okay, I whittled this thing, and here is the balance, the temperance, which is perfect for this patience card, and this basically emergence. So basically what this is saying, and hopefully y'all can see that, I'll kind of scoot these over, is that this king here, he doesn't wait for nothing. He goes and gets it. And so that you might be used to being the rabbit in your manifestations and your way of doing things. But this is saying, okay, you need to be able to have both patience and that vigor or the motivation. So it's like when there's a horse race or a dog race and they say ready, set, go. And so you're ready for it to be go. But you're going to have to breathe through this, whatever this is, because this is very important. This is life-changing for you. And this temperance, this is the Sagittarius. This is the Sagittarian energy is about, this knowledge that you've accumulated over lifetimes. If you don't believe in, reincarnation, then in this lifetime, you've built this belief system and you've worked really hard and you married this belief system. You're like, okay, I am ready. I'm ready to, unleash this knowledge. I'm ready to get it going. And I've been waiting for years, months, a very, very long time. And you're like, okay, it's like you're relying on like two other people to basically form all of this together. Or there's a lot of working parts here that are out of your control. And you're beginning to get extremely impatient. And you're feeling slowed down, almost like giving up. So let's see here, the ancestor. This might be a repeated cycle too that you're going through, and you're like, okay, I've done all this work, emotionally, mentally, physically, and it's just having a hard time. So Spirit is basically letting you know that your emotions are telling you that you deserve to have this type of anxiety, but not with the destitute. So maybe, you've been, maybe you're burnt out, but this is saying you need to have patience, that this strife, you need to be able to balance, this emotion between the roller coaster that you've been on, and you need to have patience with yourself and your emotions, because emotions are forever fluid. Okay. And a good thing to do, when you're in this situation, of feeling, where your anxiety jumps out of control, and then, which is derived from fear, and then, you get excited. It's almost like you start losing your daydreaming, your manifestation abilities, okay? And so the best thing to do is when you're going through that uncontrollable, or what feels uncontrollable, which way to turn, panic, is to ask yourself, okay, what is my emotion? Is it fear? Is it excitement? Is it sadness, or is it happiness? And then once you figure out which one, you only can pick one out of the four, then you could say that you have fear. And so walk through that fear. Okay, so what is the worst outcome that can happen? And if it does, how am I going to be able to reinvent what I'm needing to do? Because you can do that because you came up with this idea that you're trying to go through right now, right? There's always ways to make it happen. So let's go and do the... let's clarify this ancestry card. I mean, you are feeling so hesitant. Like you're almost afraid to say, okay, yeah, this is going to happen. Let's see. Yeah, so at the bottom of the deck, you've got the Knight of Pentacles. And obviously, this is a standstill position about a very long, like it took a long time to make this bad boy. And now there's delivery. It's coming. And it is going to be, it's straightforward. There's no messing around, okay? You're not going to have to come to it. It is going to come in balance to you. So let's see what... So under your ancestry, right, you're having to rebuild a whole different belief system about whatever this might be. This might be a mental process that you go through. This also is saying here, with this Five of Swords, is that, whatever happens, you need to be able to, and I hate when people tell me this, let go of whatever ideas that might have, been blocking you in the past, and basically follow this. It's almost like you have to cover your fears with your heart, if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is that you need to rebuild a structure here quickly in order for you to have this manifestation continue on. So, if we were looking at the swords, and the swords is a pretty rough, or it can be considered a lot of resistance in that emotional body that you're having. And this has to do with, okay, this is my heart's desire. This is everything that I've worked hard for, and I feel like it's slipping away. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. And this Tower being here, which basically is a 7. Oh, sorry, so it's divinely guided here. But this Tower, basically is saying, okay, you basically are having to rebuild something very quickly. And so... and that this is under ancestry. So this would be everything that you've been rooted to believe in. If this is your emotional state that says, okay, when I have this feeling, usually things go bad. And then maybe the shift is that you need to let Spirit guide you. You need to let this manifestation, because Spirit knows exactly what you want, and it will come to fruition. I think that this is going to happen. I actually want to get some more clarifiers, excuse me, on this Tower. Let's get more information on what is this Tower here for under ancestry. Maybe in the past all of your family has not accomplished whatever this dream is. This decision that you need to make, this clarity that you need. Maybe they've never had clarity, or everything that you've ever witnessed has blown up before. And this is your chance to shine. All right. Yep, so here's the Emperor that just came out, right? Which is about stability in your life. So That's what that means, is that your ancestor could be the ancestral spiritual ancestors that are around helping you rebuild, restructure this emotional state that you're in, and whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever this decision, whatever you're needing some information. Okay, is what I'm getting. You're needing some information in order to move forward. Okay, so this is saying, so Spirit is saying through your emotions, they are trying to have you feel your way through this situation and this decision. So if you're having to you're trying to get more information in order to make a clear and peaceful decision, okay? It's like you can't move without this information. So Spirit is saying that that's not true, okay? That you will be able to move forward with whatever it is that you are wanting here. And this has to do with life purpose. I don't feel like this has to do with a relationship. It might have to do with doing something with someone, and that you're relying on them, or that they are relying on you in order to move forward. But whatever this general idea is, so you need to take this general idea that you're wanting. So an example would be, say that you're wanting to open up, I don't know, a car lot, or a car wash, or a storage, or whatever, or you're wanting to make baby booties. It doesn't matter. But you're wanting to create something, and you're wanting to manage it. You're wanting it to happen, and you're saying, okay, I have to have this person over here in order to put the puzzle piece together. Well, if you generalize now your idea, you always go general when you're in this confused state. This is manifestation rules, laws of attraction, that says, okay, if I need to, now I need to kind of broaden and go general. So say that you want to open up, a car lot. So you're going to have to start with getting your dealer's license, and then you go and you don't have an actual place, like an actual car lot to put these cars. So you have to buy one at a time. So the general statement is that I want to be able to buy and sell cars. And that's what you put out in the universe. And then you have to take a baby step to get there. Okay. And maybe what this situation is that it's all one big shebang. Meaning it's all the package already ready and ready to go. Like you've already built the Taj Mahal. But Spirit is saying, okay, there's a reason why you're nervous, because maybe there's more expansion that you need to be doing. I hope that makes sense. And over here with this ancestral piece this is about a generational belief system, a generational behavior, a generational spirit, or essence is what I would like to say. And there's hindering here that's saying, okay, I can't build what I'm wanting to. But this emperor, coming in under that says that yes, you can, and yes, you will. You just basically have to be able to sit in this chair. And the emperor is all about, he doesn't have to explain who he is. People just know. So if you want to, like I said, own that car lot or that business or whatever, then you have to be that car guy. You have to be that seller. You have to be that buyer, meaning that you have to buy and sell cars. And so people just know that that's who you are. Usually when people get around me, they know exactly who I am, because I'm a pretty open book. Some people might not be that way, but this is very important message for you, is that you need to be in your power, and you need to have that. I don't care what anybody thinks or what my family or friends or anybody says. I'm not going to be held back, but because I'm needing this information. So you don't need this information. Just go general and then go from there. So eventually you will get there. That's what this is saying. And sometimes, just like this five of swords is saying, sometimes it's okay to say, okay, this I didn't pan out fully, so I'm going to try again. Okay, that one didn't do 100%, but it's better, and now I've got everything that I need to get going, right? So if it's your knowledge that you're going to share a service, then there you go. You can use that. You already have it, and harness it and use it, okay? And then at the bottom of the deck, which is important, is about that improvement is underway. So this is what Spirit is saying. It says, you're going to be pleased. It's happening. It's happening for you, not to you. And this clarity is coming. And let's just see when that clarity is coming, because that is so important. Or I think it is anyway. And I have these little cute little moon cards that I always ask about time. So Spirit, can you please tell us when this satisfaction will come, this mental satisfaction will come? I mean, you've got a lot of, you've accomplished a lot here with whatever it is that you're doing. Obviously, it has to do with some type of life purpose that you feel is your life purpose, and that you have had in your head for a long time. And there is balance coming. There is that balance. But I want to know when. When is this clarity and balance coming for these wonderful people? Okay, this is what fell out. Oh, here's the wolf. This is one of my Cherokee tribal animal spirit animals for my tribe. So this is the wolf, and it says, beware of letting your wilder instincts spin out of control. Now, how perfect is that? Okay, so here we have the wildling, and what does this say? Beware of letting your wilder instincts, okay? Meaning, don't let your panic, anxiety, and fear. So you have to be able to balance those. So when you are feeling this overabundance of fear, you need to say, okay, I'm feeling this emotion, and okay, so which one am I going to feed? Right? It's okay to have this fear and walk through it. Okay? Going, okay, I'm just feeling fear right now, and it's getting the best of me, and that's okay. And just acknowledging that will help you feel more at peace here. Okay? So I think that the main message Spirit is trying to say here is that you're needing to have that true balance. Quit trying to fight your fear and be with it. Let it be your friend. So can we get a time? Hopefully Spirit will give us it. Can we get a time, please? Hopefully you can see this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck, we have Moon and Capricorn. Put aside emotional concerns and focus on achieving or increasing financial security. Wow, that's impressive. And then the Pisces. Okay. So you got earth and water here. And it says, beware of indulging in negative or depressive tendencies. So you need to be mindful that you don't start to obsess about the outcome of this, right? Or how it's going to happen, really. So you can have that general feeling. But so time-wise, this means that the moon in Pisces, so I don't know when the next moon in Pisces, whether it's new moon or a full moon, will be, or if this means that by Pisces season, or by your Capricorn season, which will be that's going to be December. So that's not too far away. It's kind of interesting. Oh, wow. And then you got Sagittarius right behind it. Crazy. Okay, so that basically is your timeline. And then I'm going to pull some manifestation cards for you, some advice. Here is your advice. So basically what Spirit is trying to tell you through your emotions is that it's okay to have fear, but you need to recognize that you are having fear and not try to run from your fear, but be its friend. If that makes any sense, that might be a little cheesy, but it makes sense, right? So whatever that you've been waiting long and hard for and have been working your butt off, you're fighting yourself when you start to get that overabundance and fear. And when you're having those roller coaster rides of emotions up and down, remember, there's 4 emotions that you get to choose from. You need to pick one: fear, sadness, happiness, excitement. Pick one and to say, okay, this is what I'm feeling. And just be able to say, okay, I'm feeling fear. Thank you, fear. I appreciate you being here. And then you can kind of, process through that. That doesn't mean that you have to take action, okay? Here's the turtle. Don't have to take the action on the emotion. You just need to be aware of it. And then it will basically manifest itself to whatever it needs to be, or it will dissipate, or it will go back into Mother Earth, okay? That wolf is such there's, that beautiful story about, the angry wolf and the really happy wolf, right? And one of them, this Indian chief says to the young man or the boy, and he says, which one is me? And he said, both. It's just which one you decide to feed, okay? And so here is a beautiful card for you to basically, this is your advice from your higher self, that your spirit of self, okay? The more I attune to my energy with appreciation, the more the universe will deliver. So remember when I said no matter what emotion you are feeling, that you need to basically say thank you, be with it, instead of trying to change it. Just say, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now. And it's deserved, right? It's deserved. Whatever emotion that you're having is meant to be had. And, when we have these emotions that we're socially told not to have, then we try to run from it, and that gets us in trouble. We start judging ourselves and what we're feeling and doing and experiencing. And when we do that, we get in trouble, okay? So here we go. At the bottom of the deck, we have appreciation again. So obviously this is extremely significant for you to hear. Appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractor power, okay? So this again has to do with your belief system that says, I'm going to actually put that right there, I don't know if you can see that. This has everything to do with this ancestral belief, okay? That your stuff is going to come crumbling down